All right, so here's what I'm going to do. First things first, I'm going to put a line right here on your backside, and then I'm going to run a line right on your forehead here, kind of right in there. Okay, so there's kind of where you've got yourself set up parameter-wise. So imagine you got your backside on a wall and your forehead's on a wall. You just kind of got yourself set up in a hallway, let's say.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's see what happens when we start to take it back. So we get set. So our initial backswing.
Oh.
Okay, so now all of a sudden, you can see that we've come off both walls.
I stood up. I'm standing up.
You're standing up. Now, let's see what happens on the downswing.
Oh, wow.
So here we are at impact. So you can see that we've obviously stood up from where we started, right?
Yes.
All right, so here's what we got to ask ourselves. Why are we standing up? Okay? And it's a little bit on your setup.
Okay.
I'm going to change your setup a little bit. So here's what I mean by that. Is if I drew a line down, let's clear all this out. If I drew a line down from your armpits, oops, it's not really your armpits. Your armpit's about right there. See how that line's hitting you more on your toes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do is we're going to get your armpits scooted back a little bit to where they're more on the balls of your feet.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's my reasoning, because I always like to give reasons why. Okay. I don't want to just say we're doing this without you understanding the reason why. Okay. So, if I got set and if I took my armpits and put them over my toes, okay. So now all of a sudden, what's going to happen is I've got a ton of pressure leaning out away from me out in front here. Okay. So if I make just a normal turn back, that's going to pull me forward because I'm already kind of top heavy, let's say. Okay. So if I make a turn, well, I'm going to fall down.
Okay.
Our brain's not going to let us fall down. So how are we going to counteract that? I'm going to stand up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why on your backswing there, you're wanting to kind of stand up a little bit is because you're trying to counterbalance yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to get your armpits a little bit more on the balls of your feet. We're going to take out a little bit of knee bend here.
Okay.
I'm going to get your balance points a little bit better on your setup.
Okay.
Okay? That's priority one right there on the setup part. Okay?
So more upright.
A little bit, kind of.
Okay.
It may look like that. It may not feel like that. We'll find out here in a second.
Okay.
Okay? So now if we look at the face, so as you go back, your takeaway here is not that bad. I mean, the club gets behind you a little bit, but you haven't really rolled the face crazy open. And I know it's blurry, so I'm going to put some lines here so you can see it. So your leading edge of the club is right about in there is the leading edge of the club.
Okay, when you say club is behind me, is that you talking about the club head is the left side of my hand?
Yeah, so the club head's on that side of your hands. So that's the behind side of you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
If the club head was out, let's say, if the club head was out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would say, okay, the club head's more out in front of the hands.
Got you. Okay. I'm with you.
So normally, I'm not a big fan of the club getting back there because people want to roll the face open. You haven't really rolled the face open, so I'm okay with that. Okay, this is where we got to kind of match things up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so what you want to look for is if I put the line back on the leading edge of the club, it's kind of right there. And then if I put a line on your spine right here, you see how those lines kind of match or run parallel with each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, your club face is square.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not like you're rolling the thing open.
Okay.
All right. So as you keep going up to the top, here's where, whoops, that got fast real quick, didn't it? Here's where changing the setup is going to start to help because now you have to go kind of more up with your body. And yeah, you were talking about your left wrist earlier. Yeah, your left wrist has a little bit of a bend there. But you see how the club face, how we can see the club face here? And it kind of matches your forearm / wrist area right there. That's not a bad spot, dude.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Okay.
You're actually opening it on your downswing.
Okay.
Okay, because if you watch from where you are, and as we go, that club face right now is opening. So right here, you have really bent your left wrist, and you've opened that club face.
Okay.
Okay. So now, since that thing is open, and it's still open, still open, still open, and I know it's blurry, but right here, the leading edge of the club is straight up and down. Okay? You've got about less than 2 milliseconds before you hit the ball. You've got to do something really, really active with your hands to get that face remotely square. So that's the reason why that thing's coming in open on you.
Okay. So about that spot right there, it should be more closed or more closed.
It should match your back line. So it should be parallel to this line. So it should be more like that.
Gotcha.
Where it was on your takeaway. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, because as you come through, right here, look where that face is pointing.
Yep.
That thing's looking out there. And now you have about a half a millisecond.
To roll my wrist over.
Right, but I don't want you to have to roll your wrist over. We're going to clean up what your wrists are doing on your downswing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay.